Vice President Joe Biden announced that $300 million of the federal stimulus money will go toward increasing the nation's fleet of clean and fuel-efficient vehicles that will help the nation get off its addiction to foreign oil and help save the planet.
This administration is not just pointing out today's Earth Day, but we want to look forward till we're talking about Earth years, not Earth days.
Biden was joined by Governor Martin O'Malley of Maryland, and Governor O'Malley joins me now. Governor, $300 million, what does it mean for a state like yours?
Oh, it's great. Well, you know, the $300 million has to be seen in context with the stimulus dollars that have already gone to a lot of the big metro areas. What the Vice President announced today was a $300 million fund that will help some of your smaller cities be able to become part of this transformation in our economy.
So is it like cop cars are fuel efficient or what?
Well, it could partly be for that. It could be for the fleets that municipalities use to send out housing inspectors or the like. It could be for the connector buses, you know, your smaller bus routes that some smaller municipalities run. But for us, what it allows us to do, Nora, is we've set a goal to have an entirely hybrid bus fleet in our state by 2014. Now, we were in danger of falling very short of that goal because of the contraction in the economy. But with the stimulus dollars and this sort of investment in these new hybrid buses, we are going to be able to stay on track. We're going to have 100 new hybrid buses coming this year, which create jobs, maybe not in Maryland because they're manufactured in Minnesota, but they are American jobs. And you put that together with the other stimulus dollars, you're talking probably 17,000 jobs for Maryland because of the combination of the two things.
You're on the front lines as a governor when it comes to the economy. We've heard the former Vice President Dick Cheney say that President Obama's plans on the economy are dangerous. Let's listen to what he said.
You start to talk about having to see the burden on society grow with respect to the size of the federal programs that are being talked about here. We already were in trouble, as I say, with Medicare and Medicaid, but now we're adding trillions of dollars of debt and of additional government spending in a few year period of time here. And there isn't any way that adds up to anything other than a very, very dangerous situation for our economy.
Is he right that what Obama's doing is very dangerous for our economy?
No, I think that we have here a guy who's very sour grapes about the fact that he was vice president of one of the most disastrous administrations in American history. I mean, where was his sanctimonious self-righteousness about saddling the country with additional debt when they led us into the war in Iraq under false pretenses? So one would think that when people retire from the high office of president or vice president, especially when they leave the economy in the ditch, as Vice President Cheney did, that they would have at least the good manners to step back and allow the new administration to do the difficult things they need to do to get our economy moving again. That's what President Obama is doing.
And it's not just on the economy. He's been very tough on this administration in terms of, he says that they are weakening our national security on this issue of the harsh interrogation tactics, which other people call torture. Want to play that clip as well?
I don't think there are members of al-Qaeda out there around the world this morning say, oh, gee whiz, isn't that great? Barack Obama and his administration are no longer going to ask our guys tough questions when they capture them. Now, maybe we won't behead their people when they capture them. I mean, it's just, it says something about a mindset that I worry about very much.
He said that since the president has outlawed torture, that we're no longer going to ask tough questions of al-Qaeda detainees. Explain that logic.
Well, it's hard to explain because there really is no logic to it. What Vice President Cheney doesn't get now, and what he did not get when he was in office, is that the greatest strength and the greatest power our country has is our moral authority and our standing in the eyes of our neighbors around the world. And when he twists our laws into pretzels and asks for legal justification to torture people as a nation,
you think people should be prosecuted?
I think that in a free country, I think people expect that none of us are above or beyond the law. And I think it's reprehensible, the torture that was engaged in and countenanced and justified by Vice President Cheney. And I think he'd be well advised to try to learn from the mistakes rather than trying to throw stones at our new president, who's restoring our standing in the eyes of right-thinking people around the world.
All right, Governor Martin O'Malley of Maryland, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And I'm Nora O'Donnell in Washington. Thanks